Let's learn a few other concepts and basics of trading. We will learn what is a portfolio and what are portfolio returns. We will learn what is unrealized and realized profit or loss. We will learn the idea of portfolio diversification, and we will learn the key types of players in the market and the differences between a trader and an investor. So, what is a portfolio? A portfolio is simply a collection of stocks listed in this manner. Every portfolio contains the name of the stock on the left side, the number of shares, the average cost price, the gain or loss absolute values, and a percentage value of the gain or loss. Let's understand each of these columns separately. Now, the average cost is the averaging out of all the cost prices in case you have done multiple purchases on a stock. Say, for instance, you bought stock A on day 1 at price 100 and you bought the same stock on day 10 at price 200. Then, depending on the quantity you bought on day 1 and day 2, your portfolio contains the average cost price of all the stocks across day 1 and day 2. The gain and the percentage gain column, it's obvious. It contains the absolute value and the percentage value of the gain or loss that you have done in that particular stock since you have bought the stock. Now, this gain or loss is unrealized till the time the portfolio is still contains that stock. For instance, Indiabulls real estate is still a part of my portfolio and it's showing a loss of negative 2095.16 rupees with a percentage loss of 23.02%. This is unrealized loss. As soon as I sell Indiabulls real estate, say for instance I place a sell order right now, in that case I take account of this loss and hence the loss becomes a realized loss. Now let's understand the concept of portfolio diversification. Portfolio diversification refers to the mix of stocks and sectors that you pick for your portfolio. It's always a good idea to pick stocks and companies from varied sectors, from varied countries across the globe to hedge your risks. A good portfolio is a mix of market sectors and high low risk stocks. A market mix shows that your portfolio has stocks from across the world. A good sector mix shows that you have stocks from across different sectors. Having stocks from only one particular sector can create a lot of risks for your portfolio. Say for instance, a negative regulation is passed in the sector that you hold the stocks of, then all your stocks are going to tumble and your portfolio is going to be negative despite the economy being in the positive. Then a good stock mix is important for your portfolio. A good stock mix, when I say this, I mean that you should have a mix of high risk companies and low risk companies. A high risk company is a very rapidly growing company. A low risk company is a mature company paying dividends and growing steadily. Now let's look at the differences between a trader and an investor. Now, when I say a trader usually buys and sells in the short term. He's looking for quick gains. He's looking for short-term profits. Whereas an investor is a longer-term guy. He buys a stock and waits and holds on to the company and believes in the future growth of a company. It's essential that you decide the strategy that you want to play. Ideally, if you are a new-to-market investor, it's recommended that you be an investor rather than a trader, because as an investor you don't need to track the markets daily and you only need to pick the stocks and hold them for a longer period of time and then take a decision when the time has come to sell that stock. So obviously the rules of being a trader are to protect losses and to ensure that your capital that is invested does not get eroded. How do you protect losses? You ensure there is a stop loss. You play with a stop loss in the stock markets. Whenever you place a heavy trade during the day and you're hoping for the stock to turn, if the stock turns in the direction opposite to what you had expected, you need to have a stop loss. You need to have an idea of how much loss you're willing to take, and then close the trade as soon as your levels are reached. This is important to ensure that your main capital invested does not get wiped out. Rules of being an investor. As an investor, you need to think long term. You cannot make money in the short term in the markets. You need to learn how to pick your stocks as per your risk profile. You need to assess the phase of your life and the kind of risk you're willing to take. If you're high risk, slightly on the younger side, you can afford to pick companies that are growing rapidly with higher risks and yet give higher rewards. At a later stage in life, you want to pick companies that are more mature, that pay dividends, that grow steadily, because you cannot afford to take those kind of risks with your money. So we learned about what are stocks and how they are traded on the stock exchange. We learned the difference between a shareholder and a partnership. We learned about the stock exchanges and their history. We learned what is a trade and what is a short sell. We learned about a portfolio and how is it represented, what are portfolio returns and what is portfolio diversification. We also learned a difference between a trader and an investor. Now the next steps is for you to go through the quiz questions and the exercises at the end of this chapter. You should start building your portfolio on Track Invest, and for this you can refer to the video for our platform demo of Track Invest on our blog. You can also join the competition BTC by Intern Shala in that particular month to start practicing. All the best.